Hello everyone, Just About is back, and we've been waiting a long time for the Thor Love and Thunder trailer, and we finally got it today. And if any of you maybe have been watching me on the channel or seeing me on other channels, seeing what I've had to say about this movie briefly, it's that I was predicting that this movie was going to be a major flop, like one of the first big flops of Marvel, maybe even a franchise killer, not just a movie people weren't really interested in like Eternals or Shang-Chi, but no, something that took one of the original characters and just was a major cringe flop. So the trailer came out today. I just watched it and it wasn't bad like I was expecting. I still have a lot of concerns for it, and I think that trailers can be misleading. The trailer itself isn't that much that you would it's not out of the ordinary for Marvel. It seemed like a Marvel movie, very on point for Marvel and what they've done. So here's where you have to understand where I'm coming from. So when Thor Ragnarok came out, I loved that movie. I thought it was hilarious. I loved the characterization of Thor in that movie. I thought that they finally found a balance between making him a funny character, but also I did not think that that movie made him stupid. I didn't think it made him dumb like other people said. It showed him outsmarting Loki. It showed him making plans that actually worked. He was smart in that movie despite it leaning towards comedy, maybe comedy that not everybody enjoys. And then I thought Infinity War was on brand for that, what they had created for Thor in that movie, and I loved Thor in Infinity War. Then, with Endgame, they turned Thor into a complete joke with the whole fat Thor thing. And it was a joke that was maybe funny because it was unexpected on the first watch, but that just turned Thor's character into a complete one-dimensional, well, not one-dimensional, it just turned Thor's character into a complete joke. It character assassinated him, it deconstructed him. I did not think that Thor would stoop to that low of just giving up like that no matter what happened. I did not buy into that. And so I was hoping that the next film, which I'm surprised we're getting a fourth film because we've usually been stopping at 3 films with these characters. So this film I was hoping would redeem him a bit, and I'm not sure if it's going to. It opens up, and I think that it made me feel like we're still making just a joke of Thor, like we were doing in Endgame, and I really don't like that. It feels like I've watched his character not be tweaked a little bit like I thought it was in Infinity War and Ragnarok, but I've watched his character be completely reinvented into a different character, and I don't really like that. The trailer was not cringe like I thought it would be, because hearing that Taika Waititi is kind of taking the reins, and he said that this movie is going to be like it was made by a 10-year-old, and he's going to create like a love interest for Korg or whatever that was going to be about. That made it sound like he was just going off the walls, and I think he said that there was going to be like an amusement park or something in this movie. So that made me think it was just going to be, so childish, so off the walls that it would just go too far and just be a cringe movie. Like the Party Thor episode of Marvel's What If. If you want to know what I was worried that this was going to turn into, I was worried it was going to be like the Party Thor episode of What If. If you have seen that, I commend you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to see that. That's what I was worried, and I'm still worried that this movie could turn into that. Just kind of a cringe fest of jokes and making Thor into an unbearable joke that you just don't want to have him around anymore. But, I mean, the trailer doesn't look like that, but trailers can be deceiving. I do like the idea of Thor retiring, and that's how we get to spoilers, I guess, we all knew this was coming, Lady Thor. It's so far, everyone's worried about Jane Foster Thor coming in because of what a disaster that was in the comics, and I just don't, because Marvel's had some good stuff. I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange 2. I love No Way Home, and I'm loving Moon Knight right now, but they still have had kind of they were really on a downward spiral with their material for a bit there. And this really does seem to be another one of those passing of the torch shows. It's like we've been getting, after Endgame, we've been getting so many shows and movies that are really just Endgame epilogues, like where characters are going next, and Hawkeye passes the torch to Kate Bishop, and Natasha sort of does that with Yelena, and Captain America does that with Falcon. So we've gotten all these passing of the torch things, and Hawkeye was okay, but they haven't all been great, and so this feels like another one of those epilogues, and it feels like it's going to be another movie that is ultimately, not so subtly just about going from Chris Hemsworth's Thor to either Natalie Portman's Thor, or some other kind of character, and just kind of, not even ending this franchise. My cat is crying. I will get to you in a minute. Not even ending this franchise, but just creating an epilogue for it. And I just hope that they don't do that in a disrespectful way to Thor's character. And it already feels like they have brought him to this deconstructed point, and that they're going to, my big fear is that they've deconstructed him and that they're just going to use that to build up female Thor, because that's what I've seen them do with a lot of these characters. Like we saw in the Loki show, Loki was made into, a simp, a complete sap, in the favor of Lady Loki. So that's what I'm really afraid of. I'm afraid that this movie is just going to be more deconstructing Thor's character, and that maybe it won't be as fun as Ragnarok. Maybe it'll just go into cringe territory, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, the trailer looks really good. I think that Marvel generally is pretty good with their marketing, but I want to go and talk about the things I liked about it, though. I'm not sure how I feel about this 80s motif. They're going way in on the 80s motif with this, especially with the poster. But I kind of like that. I kind of don't like that. That's kind of what's making me feel like this is going really way far away from what Thor was. And, it could be going to cringe territory, and I think they're going to try to make it fun, but it might not be for everybody. What I liked about it, I really liked that scene with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, I liked that kind of humor where you take the other Guardians out of focus and you just have Thor staring at Star-Lord, staring at the audience like that. I liked that. I don't know. I'll see if I like this whole Thor retirement thing. Someone did make a parallel to Thanos. I do kind of like the idea of seeing one of the original Avengers get to the point of retirement and what that would look like, because most of the characters have either faded off or died. I guess we'll see Banner and She-Hulk. So yeah, you can tell that I still have a lot of apprehension about this movie. The trailer didn't look bad, but I've got all these ideas in my head that there are so many ways that this could go wrong. It just gave me a little bit of the feeling that we're overstaying our welcome here, and that we should have quit while we were ahead with Thor. I'm just worried that they're just going to continue to deconstruct him. I hope that they don't do that, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I hope if this movie subverts my expectations in that way and turns around and builds Thor up by the end rather than tears him down, then I'll be happy. So what did you think of the Thor Love and Thunder trailer? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.